I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Everybody. All right, we'll go into the board of minutes.
I'll move to accept the board minutes.
I'll second it.
Any public comment?
No.
All in favor?
All right.
Okay. All right, we'll go to a second. All right, we're into correspondence. The first one from Kelly Sullivan. And it's Headwaters, RCDS, CDF Community Virtual Kickoff. It's about a meeting coming up. March through. Okay, the next one from Shauna Page, it's on a. This is on a webinar that Matthew Gerald is putting on. It's on a CDL regulation. Look it up.
That meeting.
It's yeah, so page on. Okay, and the next one's on from.
From Ed Simonok, I don't think he put his name on there.
It's a Flint Creek Dam Advisory Committee, November 1st, 2022 meeting, Granite County Courthouse Court. So if anybody.
What kind of meeting?
It's Flint Creek Dam Advisory Committee. They don't say what time.
They're meeting at, it's the proposed agenda for tonight, but they're meeting at 6 p.m. tonight.
6 p.m.
Mhm.
So it's tonight. Is anyone going?
I don't go to the, because then, I mean, their advisory meeting, they have the meeting and we usually get.
Their recommendation.
Were you gonna let him in or is,
Yeah,
okay, are you gonna stay for the meeting?
yeah, I can, and then bring.
No, you don't have to. I mean, it just,
It's up to you if you want to stay or not. You don't have to, they have their own and take the notes.
Yeah. We'll see. I'll show him how to lock the door. I'll let him in and show him how to lock the door. And
Yeah, you don't stay if you don't want.
just on this. This advisory committee. It's their own committee and not really supported by the
They-
commission. I mean, we're not a member of it.
No. They're advisory. I'm not. And then they got something, they can bring it to us. Okay, next one's Mako on
Did you read that?
no, we tried to get into my email last week,
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
something Friday. I don't know, I can't get no emails no more, so I haven't made it back into Verizon to see what. I called them, they said it'd be 2 days before I could get in there, and then I went to work for another guy, so. I'll have to get a copy of this from you and I'll
You
read it.
didn't read it either? It's, it came from Mako telling us that they're going to form some kind of committee, and that it'll be county partnerships with federal agencies, and that the counties, all the counties are assessed with supporting this. And Granite County's is $20,000 that they want the county to submit to them in support of this. So this is,
take $20,000 off of our SRS money.
I think this needs to really be, maybe have Blaine look at it to see if, and then maybe later put on the agenda.
Could I get a copy? Bill,
Yep.
really? 'Cause I don't know what happened.
Because it's kind of saying that they're gonna focus on how we invest our PILT and our SRS. And,
Yeah, I think maybe they could come to us and sit down and explain this thing to us. No, I think we deserve that. They want $20,000. They can sit here and tell us why they need that $20,000.
well, it states that this is what they're going to do, and this is what you're going to do, you're going to give us 20,000. Is that saying that it's a mandatory thing?
How can they mandatory a federal money that we get on pay in lieu of taxes and that was none of their deed?
And so we have to pay this.
I'm not trying to argue this, I'm just saying that why would we give them $20,000, tell us how to invest our money?
Well, it's
That's why we're voting
it's
in.
to fund this. Well, you need to read the whole thing to realize, and I think it needs to be, Blaine needs to look at it and then possibly put on the agenda on the future date. It's just, it's almost like,
We put it on then for
Yep.
the. If we have
The 15th.
the 15th, yeah, and then I'll read it, and maybe we get some update on it.
well, it's just saying, okay, we're gonna join this, we're gonna create this, and you're gonna pay $20,000. In a nutshell, is that what it says? To me, I don't know, that's why we need to
Yeah,
look at it and
I
make
get into
sure.
Verizon and I'll have to start up. Right, I don't know what's going on. I can't get now. Even my personal stuff goes up now. I go to- All right, well, we're in the public comment. Any public comment?
Elena.
Go ahead, Elena.
Okay, going back to your correspondence. There was a correspondence from the Georgetown Lake Homeowners Association regarding a meeting tonight. Is that correct?
It's not homeowners, it's an advisory. I read it, what it was.
Advisory from whom?
From Ed Siminoff.
I said that.
And which group do they represent?
He's on the Flint Creek Dam Advisory Committee. He is, I think, also on the homeowners association.
Okay. Okay, that's very good. So it's the dam advisory. I think that's very important. You keep saying that nobody shows up when you have a meeting about Flint Creek project. And here they have a meeting and you just, oh, it has nothing to do with us. It does have something to do with us. It's the dam. You own the dam, don't you? So they're having a discussion. Where do I find this, the notice? Because I don't see it listed as one of the correspondence.
Elena, he only sent me the proposed agenda. I never got a copy of an official agenda, and it was just that proposed agenda that he emailed me at the end of the day yesterday. So I'll be uploading it after the meeting with the rest of the stamped correspondence, but I actually haven't received an official agenda.
Okay, so but the meeting is going to be tonight. Okay, it's 6
Right.
o'clock. 6
Yep.
o'clock at the courthouse.
Yes,
Okay, and we don't, it's not gonna be on Zoom.
no,
It not,
no, it will not be on Zoom.
okay. Going as far as the Mako, apparently from what I understand, you're not too sure of what that's about. Is that gonna be on the agenda and perhaps having somebody from Mako explain it?
Blanche said it was, and both the other commissioners, we've all said yes, we're putting it on in 2 weeks. I said that on there.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you and it makes it hard because I can't see you either. All right, so I'm sorry, it's gonna be on the agenda next week or the week after?
No, 2 weeks.
2 weeks. Thank you. I'm confirming it. Thank you very much.
Don't get snippy. Ugh.
You're the one who's snippy, sir.
Well, you don't listen, you just.
You,
want-
I'm
Wait.
sorry, I can't hear you very.
We're moving on.
May I make a comment?
Yes,
On the Flint Creek Dam Advisory Committee, it's a self-appointed committee. It is not sponsored by the commission. It's not part of any commissioner's board. And the commissioners there, it consists of homeowners, and it doesn't even consist of water users. They're not on it. And so I went to one of those meetings and I felt that we weren't really, they didn't really care what the commissioners said. It was their own advisory committee.
thank you. Any other public comment? For the record, I explained it all. It was on there, we talked about it, so I just want that noted. It'll be.
As a vote.
Go ahead.
I want to thank you, Blanche, for the record. And I do not care for being muted while I'm discussing something. And the only one who's snippy, Chairman Adler, is you. You keep forgetting that you represent me and you work for me, not the other way around. For the record, my record. Thank you.
Keep it on your record. Thank you. Any other public comment?
You know, like this. The Montana Association of Counties has a unique opportunity to invest in the center. NACO staff, state associations of counties, executives, and county officials set a fundraising goal of $15 million over the next 2 years to hire the necessary staff to conduct this critical research and keep the center on a sustainable financial course.
Yeah, I'll give you a comment for that.
Yeah,
Thank you.
what is it effort to do? Did you trick or treat?
I did, just got in.
You made a haul then, didn't you?
All right, we're gonna move on to a week. Is there any other public comment? We're gonna move on to a weekly report of road and bridge superintendent Paul.
We got done up on that Forest Service stuff project until spring. We'll have a little bit more blade work and stuff due in the spring when it dries out. But we're done with that. And we're just blading roads everywhere now. Got 3 graders going today, we'll have 4 going tomorrow. So we're just hitting everywhere we can.
Looks like the winter's gonna start
One of these days.
real
looks like.
quick. By next week, it's here.
Yeah. Trying, for sure. But. Yeah, that's just kind of what's going on. The A&M finally got here to change everything out in the medicine cabinets and get the fire extinguisher tags changed and stuff. They did make that, so
Finally,
finally. It was a month in coming, but they did make it. That's just kind of what, it's about it.
So if winter comes next week, when do you think they'll go on? 8?
Go whenever, just kind of see what the weather is doing. Just thinking of moving a couple of guys working Tuesday to Friday and leaving the rest of them Monday to Thursday. That would,
so you're on 8s now or no?
no chance. But that would cover it. We'd have every day covered that way. Anyway.
So did the bid go out for the gravel pit?
Went to the newspaper, hopefully they have it,
On the
have it
website.
in, yeah.
What was that? I didn't hear you.
Asking if the bid went out for the gravel pit.
Yeah, got it to the newspaper.
So on the, going back to 8s, we discussed that you would try to work it around payroll period. So, I mean, how would you work it being today's the 1st and you haven't went on 8s yet? Or you
Well,
try to,
anytime that, as long as you still hit, if you do it on a Monday, regardless, so you're just at a 40-hour week, you're good.
okay,
As long as you're not doing it in the middle of the week. Last time when we did it in the middle of the week,
okay,
we just did a half a day on Friday. But if we move 2 guys to work 4 10s Tuesday through Friday, and the rest of them Monday through Thursday, we've still got the whole week covered, so we could just stay on the 10s
okay.
until we got, see how it works. I mean, if that's good with you guys.
So is that in your intention to stay on the 10s until it snows or what?
Yeah,
Well, until we get considerable amount of snow. I mean,
right.
if it just snows a little bit, I think it's stay on 8s.
Because we need,
To stay on 10s,
Yeah,
because we need the afternoons to do any blade work. But it's just that time of year, it's always sketchy, but what do you guys think of moving to? Are you guys good with that?
I'm doing,
Moving 2 guys Tuesday to Friday.
yeah, I don't care as long as it's covered.
It's still,
Until. we
It's
get-
not
like
overtime,
you say,
still
until we
40
get a
hours
whole
a
bunch of
week.
snow.
Well, then if something happened and on Friday, we got a little blast or whatever, we got the bus runs covered, and that's all we're concerned about,
Mhm.
At this point. So,
anything on the solid waste,
no,
PM come in?
we got all the parts except for the main deal. And it should hopefully be here by the 15th. They're supposed to ship it from overseas on the 10th. So
Any more on the cleanup down there? We need to get somebody to help or.
I just-
Gone.
they're working on it, and I just don't know who we could hire to do any help. You know,
Well, I mentioned the close up, but I don't know if they do it.
Yeah,
It's late, too late in the year probably now, so.
Does close-up even exist?
well, it's a Drummond or the junior senior trip in Drummond, and they're gonna do like an educational trip. It's not associated with close-up.
They were looking to get money somehow, so was Phillipsburg, so I got told. I never heard back, so I just.
We have the seniors that are saving for their senior trip.
So that might be interested.
got the applications in. We should be hearing something from them pretty soon, so we can burn. And, but we wanna have a little snow on the ground to do that too. Cause I don't know, we just seem to get a lot of wind and nothing else, seems like. I thought maybe get with you later this week and, go over the billing, so we get the Forest Service bill.
Yeah.
Get what?
Go over the billing for the Forest Service, we get that turned in.
I have it all outlined according to our contract, so. should come.
I was committed tomorrow or the next day or something, and we'll go over everything.
Perfect.
Ship it to the powers to be.
Get our money.
Right,
I was a renter in the house down there. I get one.
I've never saw him,
He likes to call me.
huh?
He likes to call me for things. I think he's settled finally.
Oh, yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, I've just never. He just parks in a spot and,
Best kind of renter.
yep,
Mhm.
so, good.
Commission wanted to look at citing that place, or you guys, is that down the road?
Down the road. but-
Yeah,
And Kiwanis says they're gonna take about 15 loads of that stuff. Out of the yard.
Oh.
Hopefully they'll take warm in spring. Got all the sand that we think we're gonna need hauled down to Rock Creek, so it's all ready. Yeah. Should be pretty well set up as far as all that goes. But
You can be able to hit Middlesbrough. I got a call.
Johnny will be on it today. He's got probably, I don't know, 3-4 hours left on Rock Creek. And then actually he's going on the bus run first and then working his way around to the middle fork.
So on the Granite Road, is there? Have you contemplated when you'll be able to do that?
Hopefully sometime next week. As Soon as we get all the bus routes and all of our main roads done. We had it pretty good and then that weather hit, just tore them all to hell. And. But. Get up there and do some anyway.
Yeah, I saw on the weather is supposed to not get above freezing next week.
it's coming.
That's the day, it should change 3 times, but. It should change 3 times
Oh,
by
yeah.
Monday.
I don't have nothing else, dude. Any public comment?
Alrighty then.
Have a good one.
I'll continue on. I'll see you. I'll call you.
I can't remember, did you ever talk to them guys on Deer Lodge about the dome? Did we ever?
Oh, Val County.
Just about the. Did they give us the contract and stuff, you know, whenever we got ready to do something? We just kind of put it on hold. You know, we got a price on what dumpsters and stuff would cost. And. The stuff that we'd have to buy. And then we just kind of let it sit. They haven't told us how much it would be to dump in there, but. I'm obviously it's gonna be cheaper than Missoula, just because the truck is. Half distance.
Wonder if we ought to think about that. Since we got that extra money.
Something to look into to bring up the rates at Allied.
We got that extra money from, a couple of weeks ago.
Be nice to just get a total price, see what trucks would cost, and the containers, and just see what actually have something that we can put on to look at. And see if it's gonna work out.
Want to get us some figures,
So what's that?
want to get us some figures on that?
I can do that.
I mean, it'd be nice to know.
Can't hurt.
Yeah.
We got that extra money.
Yeah, it can't hurt to look into it to see
You know,
what
if
it
it
actually
save us a bunch of
costs,
money. You know.
what we could save, and, to be a long run, see how it breaks down.
You'd be. Even if you were just gonna say, let's do something today. You'd be a year out,
Oh, yeah.
you know, you just couldn't ever even get anything,
No, no.
you know.
Well, that contract goes through. Find out there.
I think it was like next year.
Yeah,
But I mean, it'd be nice to have something.
yeah.
Look and see down the line if we could afford to even do it. That's. Can't hurt to look.
Yeah, good point.
I'm done.
Okay. All right, we'll see you later.
All right. See ya.
Yep, thanks.
Any public comment? Now we'll move on to Brandon Harris Dam Tender Report, Georgetown Lake outflow review and decision. I agree with you, Chuck, this new one's hard to. I don't like it like the old one. The old one was more, showed it better than me. It's 6427.73, 2124, same as last week.
Okay, well, I guess I'll. Make a motion to stay at the 10 CF. As. I could be talked to go down to 6, but. I don't know.
So we're at 10. And it's the same as last week.
So not gaining.
So I would think that at 10, if it stays the same, we're doing okay. Keeping it at
That's
10.
probably what's inflows right around 10.
Yeah, so we're not going down
No,
or going up. We're staying at a level and that's what we want. Is that correct?
correct. I was hoping that, like,
Actually, we want to start gaining.
Okay.
And especially for freeze up.
So you want to watch it
Sure.
one more week and then see if maybe we
I think I
need
should
to
get, one more week and then see. this
go
thing.
down just to get more water in there. Okay. I'll second it.
So,
any public comment.
I'll go.
Could we make a motion to send these guys? Letters saying, go back to the old draft.
I don't know if how it worked. I guess we could ask them. It just seemed on the old graph, it had everything and it was just.
Well, yeah, you can see what it was had been doing.
This one, here's this.
I think on this, you can click on this one and do 30 days or a year,
Oh,
so you can see the other. You just have to-
Okay.
So that's just showing what we've done for the last week. And you can click on something where you get the
Yeah,
7 days,
Click on
yeah,
those.
and that's a 7-day report.
So I'll try that.
any other public comment? Blaine?
So I have Zoom meeting with Fish and Parks attorney and Brad Lehrman jumped on and I had reviewed the FERC order on rehearing again, the one from October 21st, 2010. And it was good that I redid that. The original order had the minimum of 10 CFS and in the non-irrigation season, and FERC like that. They think that's optimal, but the county had come in and asked for this new language on the lesser of 10 CFS or inflows. And the reason for that is the county wanted latitude, just like you're having now, if you need to potentially let out less and to build up the lake levels. But there's also some language in here that talks about how it should be flexibility. Fish and Wildlife, Fish and Game attorney thinks that's a real hard and fast deal. It's either 10 CF, the lesser of 10 CFS or inflows. So based upon, I mean, I think if the county wanted to, we could go back into FERC and get that changed. But I think right now, I mean, just trying to do it by agreement. If you have what they're advising and everyone come to agreement, they work out. If we're just not, then we can go back to FERC and try to get it changed.
I think,
So-
yeah, I need to leave it as is. It all blew up when they said 0.
Yeah,
You know, that, and then that 3 kind of threw it all in a big kibosh. And when the
Yeah.
guy was saying, oh, this 0, he did, you know.
on that conference call that he was saying, well, Brad said between 3 and 6, but I think they realize 6 is probably the most they should go down. But even 6 would be a temporary modification.
Yeah.
So, and there, we did talk about Brad's not going to be able to be here for every meeting, but if they could give like an overall coming up in the, in the big timings in the spring where you need to talk to them and the non-irrigated October 15th, we can get some potentially thoughts or whatever that they have.
Well, that's all we was asking.
Yeah.
You know, don't wait till the last minute, and then all of a sudden freaking out over everything. We're just trying to, the communication, like I told them, it sucks. And we beg them every week. I was saying, nobody's on again, and it's come to this point where we're gonna be losing water. That's all I was getting. And then they go into that big old blow up about 0 and 3, and it's just communication. I mean, they're the ones that pass it on. They're talking to the homeowners and stuff.
So, yeah, agree. I fully understand your point there. We talked about that, and yeah, so my encouragement would be for right now, 10 CFS, unless Fish and Game is gonna consent to, and the agencies are gonna consent to 6, which you may want to look at.
I'm saying, that's the thing, Wayne, like right now, they know we do this every week, and it takes 2 minutes out of their time. We do this, but now they got 2 other guys listening. I don't know if they're on or not today. No, they're not. So, I mean, it only takes one little comment. We don't agree.
Yeah.
Can't want to go 6, but then we're the ones that still make the call. If they don't agree, it's, I mean, they need to tell us
Yeah.
before.
Yeah, even if they're not here at the meeting, an email beforehand.
They,
Go ahead, Glenn.
the lesser of 10, that means you have it at 10.
So if inflows are 6 CFS, then you have to have it at 6 CFS. The issue is it takes a week, to figure out, with all the springs and different inflows. So to to come in, we talked about that, coming in and saying, oh, there's 3 CFS, you gotta let out 3. That's a little too abrupt, because you gotta look at it for a week, from my perspective.
Well, that's
See
why
what
we did what we did,
yeah,
is put it at 10 and see where
Yeah.
we're at,
and
and we seem to be even.
And we wanna fill it, it's not that we don't, but it just seems like it just all of a sudden we get to that certain point and how everybody. They wait till the last minute, and then we're trying to figure out, get comments and move on.
Okay, so the level, it stays level, it stayed level last week for the 10. So with it being at the 10, then that's giving more to the hydroelectric to produce a little bit more power. So when do we want to go in and say, okay, now we're going to cut it down because we need to build up the water?
Could be next week, Lance, you just see what this does and with it
Yeah.
colder and. It just,
Whatever.
and the sun's going down earlier than that, we're not getting the melt, so I don't know what we're really getting. For what there's snowing on the afternoons, it's been up to 50 or something, but I think by the time that sun's really hitting, if we're not getting the thaw yet. It's already going over the hill. That's
kind of
my-
a week by, just looking at week by week closely,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I think we're doing the right way. I mean, I wanna feel it. It's just, we still gotta try to make some money too
Right.
for that.
Right.
To
Yeah, that's-
cover our expenses. I mean, there's so many objects to this that, from the lake to down the stream, just everybody's involved. It just,
Yeah, you have a lot to balance.
Well, like last year, it was what, we kept it at 6. Throughout when did we start at 6, do you remember?
I think,
About this time last year.
Yeah.
I think in August, October 15th even probably,
I think so. It's like a week or the last week of October. we
Yeah.
start.
You stayed there all winter.
Okay, so right now, we're into it 15 days out, and we've been able to keep it at 10 and staying level.
So
Okay,
hopefully.
it's just a matter of-
No,
Okay, as it gets colder, then it'll fill because the sun won't melt it. or whatever.
no, we're just,
Yeah.
we're hoping for moisture and up above. And then it's
Keeping the moisture in,
Yeah, less evaporation.
less evaporation, okay.
But, and here we've been having 40, 50 mile an hour winds. I mean, that's taking so much off the top before we even get a chance to even. Whatever. Mike had that whole thing. I don't know what I ever did with it, but he had that. He got it from some guy that studied on the wind, how much we lose, and that's pretty interesting what actually goes off the top. It's a lot.
was it,
Even when it's cold, too.
was it Dave Almond or was it someone else?
There's somebody else he got it from, and I had it here, and I looked at one day, and I don't know what I did. It'd be kind of nice to figure that again.
Is it in the papers, Tom? I wondered, we never went through your paper.
Thanks, Billy.
Yeah, we didn't go through that.
Anyway, on the motion, leave it at 10, you second it, right, Lance? So is there any public comments? Thanks. Being none, all in favor?
Right.
Aye. It's a thing, I mean, you gotta really watch, I mean, it's about everything, it's not just about here or there, it's just the whole thing, it's. I don't even know if they're pulling, if they are, they still pulling a little water on the shoulder, and it's hard to tell. I drove by there that one day and it's just, you can't really. It's 5 minutes before we're going to the next one. I think we're just gonna have to really watch that one nice thing I can see, where we do it week by week, but if something happens, we can, all aboard that we can change it during the week if we have.
Yeah, you have that flexibility.
And I wasn't trying to get on the art, I just was want communication, because it just, It's just it's gone on year
Yeah.
after year, and they said, yeah, we, and I said, well, this time of year, we're trying to figure out, because they're worried about the fish and all that, but it's more about other stuff too, the people out there, their livelihood, the fish downstream.
Yeah, I think the compromise is if you can't be here in the meeting, an email beforehand, so you guys know what they're
How many
thinking.
years have we done this?
Yeah. Look,
Thursdays,
Oh, yeah.
decent.
We know we have to credit card. We want service charges.
Steve Lane, is nuisance dog an ordinance or was it a resolution?
the county has a vicious dog ordinance and a nuisance dog ordinance. You
We
wanna
just
cut,
have a nuisance one they voted in that.
but we already had a vicious dog ordinance prior, yeah,
Remember, I was against the nuisance.
yeah. Well, the nuisance one
Ended
is,
up being a personal.
yeah. The nuisance one, I think, was up again this December, so it needs to probably be on the agenda again.
Where will I find?
Um, Jackie is, I'll
I
send
could
it to
do
her.
that. Oh, you have it.
I can send it to her, yeah.
Did their lawyer seem okay then with what you read in that Blaine? I guess that's what.
Yeah, I mean, he was just taking the stance of that language that says lesser of 10 CFS or the inflows is a hard and fast rule. I just said, I'm not gonna give the commission that legal opinion because it talks about flexibility in there, but ultimately, I think if the commission doesn't like that language, you can go back and go to FERC and get just the 10 CFS, but if they're willing to say, yeah, 6 CFS is and agree to that, I mean, I didn't see where it needed to go back to FERC, but yeah, the 0 to 3 CFS, that seems where FERC is all in their order saying 10 is optimal, but we understand about filling the lake, but you got there, the FERC is saying you got to look at the downstream fishery. So
They didn't really want to answer that though, so we got worried about downstream too. It's like,
We
well,
gotta look at
they
that
said,
Power too, I mean, can't go down to
Yeah.
nothing.
no,
I-
I mean, what's it gonna do to turbines and stuff, you start shutting that off, I don't know what. It's all in half.
Well, they probably have to redo the line, then refill it gradually. Because you
Get that
do
air
have
out of it, cause it.
all the air bubbles in there.
Alrighty, we're gonna move on to the 9:45 letter of support for proposed legislation, discussion decision. Before we start, I got one thing I wanna really say is that, we gotta make sure. Dave, that when, if you come in, we gotta have you come in right on the, don't come in early.
Okay.
And that, make sure that you're on the agenda at what time, cause we did,
Okay,
okay?
yeah,
All right.
not a problem.
So go ahead and we'll go back into this, letter of support.
Yeah, I wrote it, you know, resolution, not the right word up there, so just a letter of support, what I'm asking for. These child protective teams are already in place, with the exception of, I think. We added two members of the general public, and we gave them a little bit of authority. What got me onto this, and it's gonna get kind of personal for me. CPS came and removed my little girl and placed her with her mother. And I'd already won custody in 2017.
This open meeting, so you're waiving your right to privacy by talking about all this, okay, all right. okay.
That's okay, yeah,
Yeah,
I
okay.
understand,
Alright.
there's no privacy here. She appealed and lost in the Supreme Court, so I was already upheld as the primary parent. CPS came in, removed her, placed her with her mother under the guise of parental alienation. That's a term that's been rejected by the UN, the World Health Organization, the American Psychiatric Association, American Medical Association, the DSM-5, which is a doctor statistical manual, the 5th edition. If it's not in there, it doesn't exist. And there's also an ICD-11, this is an international version. It's not only rejected from the international version, it's labeled as a legal tactic. So they came in and removed her without an investigation, without due process. I called Helen and they screwed up so bad they had to return her 4 days later. That gave Kelly 2 adverse childhood events. They're called ACEs. They say that after a kid has 6, you, for lack of a better way to put it in my own terminology, you might as well write them off. They're done. They're screwed up beyond repair. So that gave her 2. They spent the next year campaigning, put us through another psych eval. I've been through 9 psych evals. The 9th was from this crackpot, Bob Page in Great Falls, who's not a psychologist, and CPS knew it when they hired him. They paid him 10 times the going rate. He testified to this on court. I can show you all this stuff in print. Place,
But I guess what, yeah, I don't think we need to see all that. I think it just goes back.
Yeah. But-
Yeah,
what, you know, in code annotated 413108. I think I gave you a copy of that
So I'm,
with it.
to have a question here, I'm in the codes and I don't see where there is a 108. Is this something that's?
413108.
I'm looking at the codes right now on the,
oh, I didn't know you had.
and I'm looking at the cadet or the codes. And part 3 protective care starts at 301. Where is 108?
Right.
Is this
You're in,
something
you're in
that-
title 41,
Yes,
chapter 3,
chapter 3,
yeah, there's.
and it starts at protective care. And it
My problem.
starts at 301.
It's in the part 1 in the general.
So I know Chuck was saying that you have to get on the docket, right? Is this already been proposed and sitting?
Yeah.
Where someone can look at it?
It'll go through legislative services to get written into a bill that will be proposed.
I'm not sure, but I think the docket thing is after the election.
Yeah, what is it, the 10th of November, I think they have to submit all the proposed legislation, and it's already in that slot, I guess. I don't know what the right word is, but it's already been submitted as something that we want to run. We've got a couple of different legislators. I think one of Chuck's boys and maybe a couple others that would like to run it. But what this what this cost. It cost the state well over $1 million to prosecute this because the Assistant Attorney General's office was involved. They've been planning this since 2020. This is not just some random thing. But what this teams, what we wrote up here would do would give the teams that are already in place, Blaine and Dunk and, you know, who else, TJ Vitor, people from the school, people from the hospital, and a couple members of the community would have had to meet with CPS and they'd have had to present what they're talking about doing. I don't think there's anybody in this county with a brain in their head who would have said, yeah, okay, take that girl. Obviously, it didn't work. Obviously, they were wrong because she was returned. The judge kicked it out. There was never any charges. There's nothing I could be charged with. That would have prevented, it cost me $91,000 just in legal fees. That's why the jail's not done. That's why the dome took so long. That's what drug me out so far, because it took 50% of my work week to drive to Missoula once a week to see a shrink, drive to Billings, all the way to Billings to get 1 hour of supervised visit with my little girl that the Supreme Court's already upheld that she was safe with me. That's what they put us through. We did a little damage in the meantime. They tried to force us to do supervised contact and they cut off all of my contact with her. They tried to force me to use that organization. I don't know if it's kosher to use the name, so I won't, for supervised calls. And did some research on the organization. They offered about 7 different flavors of psychological treatment without a single psychological provider on staff. Did some digging on them, went to Great Falls and met with some of their neighbors and took that to the legislature. They've since folded up, saved this, they've made $4.1 million direct payment from CPS to this organization since 2019. We put them out of business. So we did some good. There was some good came from this, but that's down a little rabbit hole. Sorry about that. But what this team's deal will do would be if they came in and removed my little girl, they have to meet, CPS has to meet with this team within 72 hours. If the team doesn't like it, she has to come back. If they don't have grounds, they don't have a reason, they have to bring her back.
Oh, it's already in place.
No,
So
It's-
there's already teams in place, but they don't have this extra authority of that
Okay,
check
so
on
what are you
CPS.
changing in here? I don't see where the change is.
we're changing, we're giving the team's authority. These teams shall assist in assessing the needs of formulation, monitoring the treatment plan for each child. That's already in there. The child protective team shall meet prior to any non-emergency child removal or within 72 hours of any child emergency removal from a parent. And by a majority vote of the team in a meeting held under this part may reverse a decision of a child protective specialist or supervisor's decision to remove any child from a parent. It may terminate any child abuse or neglect investigation. That's the new part.
So it's basically a check on.
It's just a check. And there's legislation going through, Jennifer Carlson's introduced it already, to require a warrant to remove a child. Part of what we got done after they removed Kelly, I testified in legislature, we got it to where when they took her, as Lindsay Angelo told me, I said, when do I get it?
I wouldn't use that.
Okay. Sorry about that. She said, I said, when do I get a hearing on this? She said 90 days if you're lucky, but you're not very lucky, are you? That's not even close to professional. Not even close. So we got that slammed back from 90 days, they have to have hearing within 5 days. And the next legislation is they're gonna have to have hearing within 72 hours for removal. This will prevent little kids like my little girl from having to go through that. And there was abuse that happened, she alleged while she was there. She reported that she had been videoed in the shower. CPS made a phone call from Missoula to Roundup, hung up the phone and unsubstantiated the investigation. That's where it stopped. Nobody ever checked video, phone, nothing. And I'm not here to slam anybody. I'm just saying there were serious allegations made that CPS didn't follow up on because they don't like me. This would prevent my little girl or your little girl or your grandkids from going through what we did. And I think the first attorney I had out of Butte, fantastic lady, good attorney. She says, Dave, I don't know how you do it. She said, most of my clients by now would have suicided out or walked away. This is serious. This is not some small thing. This isn't just this dumb redneck's problem. This is statewide. We rank number 2 in the nation for child removals. and number 2 in the nation for suicides. And I was on the board of the Montana Child Protection Alliance for a year or so. I stepped down because of this drama. But the research I started doing, I tied 26 suicides to CPS. That's the only cause for the suicides.
Well, I think, so in case if there's anybody else who's doing public comment, I'd entertain a motion of letters of support, not resolution, letter of support.
I'll make that motion to have a letter of support for this.
I appreciate that. And I apologize for the wording.
Second.
Sorry.
Do I have a second?
Second it.
Okay, now back to public comment, go ahead, Blaine.
One thing I would, probably in your motion, like who the letter should go to, you're talking about definitely our legislators here and, or I guess, who do you want it to go to? Be an
That's my
issue.
question is who does it go to? Is this that's already sitting there waiting for someone to pick it up? Is
Can I ask you a second?
Huh?
Is it still, if we pass this, say it passes, then like you're saying, do we have this letter and then just to show that we're in support of this, and like you said, now who's it go to, but I guess I'm not sure either, I don't understand where we stand.
It could be that it's given to Dave and that Dave can disseminate it to every single legislature.
Going just to the legislature.
Well, that's the
Mako
thing.
would be a
We-
good
we-
one too. I mean,
We need to know. Okay, what do you call it first? A bill or what is it called?
It's a letter in
It
support
becomes
of
a bill.
the bill.
It's in there and then it goes to committee and then it da. Is it in there waiting to when the legislature is in session to go to a committee? Do we know what?
we're not to that point
Well,
yet.
like, who picks it up?
And then
Probably the Health and Human Services Committee,
Probably.
send it there.
So don't we have to wait until it's there and it's getting,
like that, I thought like last week we was talking that it was make sure that you have it in hand, so when they do move, it's there, that we are showing support, so we're not waiting
Yeah.
another week or 2 weeks to get it on the agenda. I thought that we actually said that if we went for it, that we have it done and then you could take it. But I understand, I'd like to know where it's going to. Does it go right to CPS too? I think they should know that we're in support.
It is public, everything we're doing here is public record, so
right,
it's.
but is it gonna be picked up? You know what I'm talking about?
Well, there's no guarantees the legislator is gonna sponsor it, but likely, yeah, and then it would start out in committee. But I would think, I agree with what Commissioner Adler was saying. If we have the letter and that, then Dave can submit it to all the relevant legislators
Because he
and
would be the one-
we can send to Mako too.
But he'd be the one going over to make sure that it's getting pushed. And, you know, that when they start moving this, and then he could hand the letter of support, that Granite County's involved or support this too. There's other counties that, the way I understand, I'm not speaking of God, there is other counties with letters of support.
Yeah,
Go ahead, Brian.
This is you as a private person taking this to the legislature to try to get this change in 41-3-108.
Basically, yes, I'm going to take your letter and I plan to get as many county commission meetings as I can. Reasonably to get letters of support from everybody. Cause sorry,
And it sounds like there was a whole bunch of them that are for this. They're just starting to move on it. I think they're kind of at a standstill too, wondering where the hell, where it goes.
Who are you talking to?
I talked to Scott a little bit about it, the sheriff. He said there's other counties involved in this, so. that support them. I think they're all kind of at a standstill, waiting to see who's gonna take it, so we know where to take the letter. I'm like, Lance, I don't know. I wanna make sure if we're supporting this letter goes somewhere.
it'll go to whoever
Well, I
picks up
think
the
it goes
bill.
to Dave, and then he can, like you said, then he can. say, well,
Whoever-
support-
Whoever picks up the bill will get it, sorry.
So then you go in and when you go in and you see where you have the original statute and then you have where it strikes this and adds this, is that?
that would be once a legislator picks it up, then they'll do that before they.
And
submit
wouldn't
it,
that
yeah.
be the time when we would send our letter of support?
Well,
Well,
I thought they wanna have it on the table in front of them, so when they gather all this stuff
I-
up, they have
I-
it. That's the way I understand.
Yeah, I think it's a good selling point to get somebody to pick up the bill and run with it. Is look, I've got this county, this county, this county, this county, I've got. Maybe just one county is
Yeah,
support.
they know
You have a point because they have a number and all that, but they assign.
And then they know that they're gonna have support, so they will pick it up. Oh, where they
Yeah,
don't
right,
get
but I
it,
think-
get it wet. Right?
yeah, the letter could be used at every phase, basically.
We don't
The
know.
big ones are testifying at the committee, so getting people over there.
And we have a,
Public comment from Elena.
okay, go ahead, Elena. It's on the motion of the letter of support.
Clarification, thank you. So from what I gathered with the rest of the conversation, there isn't a draft bill number yet. And Dave, is there a group behind this that's promoting it that you're a part of?
This is just me. I am involved in the Montana, I'm on the board of directors, of Montana Citizens Council on Judicial Accountability. And I have their backing or their support, but it's not through their organization, no.
Okay, yeah, I'm familiar with that group. And again, so there's not a LC number or a draft number yet, correct?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay,
Correct.
thank you. Thank you, Dave.
Any other public comment? Being none, all in favor of the letter of support?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank
Okay,
you.
carried and passed. Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
We'll get
I,
it.
I think this will make a big difference for a lot of people.
We'll get it, redone and took.
Yeah, scratch that off.
And different letters. Blame.
Yeah. Yeah, Bill and I work together. That I think would be the attachment and then, then it'd
You
be
all three
commission.
would sign it then? I
That-
should.
That'd be good. Yeah.
I didn't make
Get it
it
in
look
front of
like there, you know, that way it shows the wrong page.
Well, I appreciate that. And you know, it is my own axe to grind, but this is affecting a whole lot more people than me.
Well, I've asked around, and there's, yeah, you get talking to people, they didn't want their names, but they're saying, they need somebody needs to be overseer or something, because they get too much control.
I think they picked on the wrong guy.
They made an enemy, that's for sure. That's, yeah.
All right, well, we'll move.
Thank
on.
you.
All right, thanks. We'll get
Thanks.
that out, I guess, maybe today or.
Anytime, I don't know if there's a rush on it.
I just don't get it, then you can get it over where you need to get it, so it isn't, you know.
Well,
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Billy and I are gonna be working on it, be probably when you're done, so,
Today, yeah.
but,
Yeah, you
um,
guys don't meet again until the 15th for us to grab all your signatures.
Okay, I gotta leave at 11 today, so. Is that all right?
So the one question. So you're gonna try to get on the agendas in other counties to
Good
promote this and bring our letter.
If that's okay.
support.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. And try to get letters of support from other county entities.
I am,
Okay.
if that's okay. And,
Yes.
I don't have a clue what I'm doing, obviously. So if you've got any advice or tips or hints, I'm all ears.
I'll give, yeah, I'll talk to you.
Okay,
Yeah, I get on that one, remember the times, you gotta come
Yeah,
on the
yeah.
time that's on there, you can't just pop in and out.
yeah,
All right.
will do. All right,
Thanks.
thank you.
All right, we're gonna move on now to the inmate medical insurance program renewal. I have it in front of me. It's from Scott with the NACO on excess medical insurance and or claims administration management. Scott was for this, right, Billy?
He is, and sometimes he checks what he wants on there, but he didn't on that copy, and we kept missing each other yesterday, so.
Should we wait till he checks it before we sign it? Cause
Um,
it's something that,
No, because we need to get it back to her.
But which one is the check-in?
that's what I was.
Well, here's what we are doing now. I had Valerie give me what we're doing now.
That's why I didn't know if he wanted it before I signed it, and then they mark something, and, I mean, I don't understand it, so. I guess it's something we've done every year.
Yeah,
We put it on a few years ago, because we never had it, and it's come back and say,
It's a good safety net because you do get. Good people in there who maybe have, yeah,
yeah. And I need
a
to
lot
get
of
it
issues.
back to Mako today.
so.
Did it go up in price or is it?
Little bit, look like, isn't it?
It's pretty close. to
Yeah,
the
went
speed
from
of it.
day rate from 95 to 98. And then the maternity,
I think, no,
oh, 3.
I think when it come down to it, though, when he brought the study in, if something happened, it's a hell of a deal.
Yeah, I mean, there's a high deductible on it, but if you get someone that's very sick and ended up in the hospital for a month.
No, I
Yeah,
think
it's a good protection.
deal. We've always agreed with it. I just didn't know which
Yeah.
one. So I guess I'd entertain a motion on
I make a motion that we accept the inmate medical insurance renewal for inmates Granite County.
I second.
any public comment. Being none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, Billy, do I sign this where it says accepted should be by Scott and then by us, right? Because where it says accepted by county.
Granite County. And then you sign it.
Okay, we got a few minutes before the resolution. Yeah, I need to leave at 11, we gotta be down here at the bank.
What do you want to do about it?
We're not, we don't have an oversight inspection due to the weather, I still think we should wait till we get. See what's gonna happen, because it'll be another week and it's supposed to be a storm coming, if we can't see, we'll waste the time.
Well, maybe we should just skip walking down there and I think we have to do it.
Yeah, within
Yeah,
60
So I think
days.
maybe we ought to just make a date
Just go for it.
and just do it. And if it's too slippery to walk down there, it's too slippery. to walk down.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah.
Gets it
Yeah.
done.
Jeremiah's gonna call in. When you do your,
10:40,
yeah,
okay.
Try for the 15th.
Yeah, it gives us 2 weeks, we could do that. I mean, it'll come on, I'll be here for that one, I just gotta leave when Chad Green's for county medical.
Oh, you'll be back
And
up.
then at 11:20 is when the thing comes
Oh.
on. So Jeremiah said, should I be definitely, we gotta do it, just move on it, go. Make a date, go, so I want.
So Jeremiah's coming on with.
he's gonna call in when we review the allied engineering report. He's gonna call in on your conference line.
Yeah, I was just curious where that weather goes. We've never really. We have people go over the legislature and push on stuff, but we've never, this is kind of a different setup to me.
Yeah, I think anyone he gets it too, because every phase the letter could be used.
I think it was just mainly so he could start moving when he
Yeah.
gets some support, then it's there, but. Cause I thought Scott said it's already, people are already pushing stuff. I don't want to speak for him.
Yeah, and I think there's already legislators that have their,
There's some good ones.
yeah, their eye on
It's
it.
right up their alley.
The, it could, yeah, it could be CC to Mako and keep them in the loop, but yeah, I really, when it, yeah, every phase, I think you could use it.
How come it didn't come up when I had my table of contents?
I think it was just a table of contents for that, part 3 is all it was, so, yeah,
Did you find it on there then?
Well, no, he He just typed in 4318 and it came up
But you didn't find it.
under part one.
So there's a table of contents, I think, for each part, and so.
So I went under like chapter 3. And then it pulled up.
Yeah,
It came only 301 was the first one. Instead
yeah,
of,
so that might be a glitch with the
Yeah.
legislator,
because it should have,
this legislative
It was-
services or whatever,
it should have showed me 101 through,
yeah, it should have,
yeah. There's probably a 200 one too.
Yeah.
They only showed 301.
there was title, chapter part, and she typed it in, and should have gave her all of that. And table of contents for all of that chapter.
Yeah.
Okay.
Weird. What does LC stand for?
LC
On legislative stuff? Is that the
LT.
LC?
where are you seeing it now?
Well, you need to say LC.
Oh, I think one of those preliminary numbers there, that the legislative service gets, so.
And then it's picked up by either the Senate or the House.
Could be that, it'll be.
Yeah.
A
Yeah,
It'd be a House.
I think, well, it could be.
yeah,
Also gotta put it on. Okay,
yeah, I think it'll be the House first, yeah.
All right, we're a couple minutes early. We're gonna go ahead and go to the resolution 2022-12. Request the authority for distribution of county minimum allocation grants for water and sewer infrastructure projects for the town of Drummond.
I talked to Mayor Leeper, and she said it looked good to the town.
Probably shouldn't wait till she gets something.
She is on.
Yep.
Okay.
You want me to, I can unmute her and.
Yeah, just go ahead and I'll see if she, go ahead, Dale, we went a couple minutes early.
Send her over.
you want a motion?
Well, I didn't wait, she's on there, I didn't know if she had. That's a couple minutes early. Did you get anything, Huntley?
No, you didn't.
What are you looking for, Alec?
I don't want to go out for that. Wasn't that good. Shakedown cruise. So much stuff you gotta take.
Yeah. It's work.
Okay, we'll go into the resolution. Do you have any comments, Gail? I'd entertain a motion then.
I'll move to adopt resolution 2022-12, the Granite County Resolution requesting authority for distribution of county minimum allocation grants for water and sewer infrastructure projects for the town of Greenwood.
I'll second.
Any public comment on this? Being none, all in favor?
Aye.
None, motion been carried and passed. Grizzlies aren't looking very good.
No, the quarterback's still out. Sacramento State knocked him out targeting. Yeah, it was intentional, I mean, taking them out, yeah,
My Alma Rob beat them, U of I.
yes, that. And that was at home with their starting quarterback, and all of a sudden that started the losing streak. But. Yeah, hopefully he can come back.
August.
Titans are looking good. Played Belt here, 1-2 in the state. Saturday at 1. In the quarterfinals, but still the two best in Belt. I think it's north of Great Falls, and
Is it here?
yeah, here,
Or what?
here,
No,
Saturday.
Saturday.
Saturday. Yeah, there'll be a lot of people in town.
All right, well, we'll go into the resolution 2022-13. The Townsville.
I make a motion that we accept 2022-13 resolution requesting authority for distribution for the town of Phillipsburg.
Any public comment? Being none, all in favor?
Aye.
None, motion been carried and passed. Do you have the county appointments?
I do, and ironically enough, no, these are. These are very, not filled out applications. They're slightly filled out. They're just the name of the board, all of them. 2 were mailed to me, 1 was brought to me and. Yeah,
Sign the resolutions.
oh yeah, sign the resolution. You want to sign the resolution?
Yes, we will sign it.
Yeah, it's kind of weird, they don't fill it out.
It's just those 3. Isn't that weird? All those week. I have one for next week that I got with a cover letter that's for reappointment. So
I guess maybe they just.
Both
provide
sides
what
of the
they
spectrum.
want when they fill it.
I mean, I have their last one on file.
Yeah, probably if they already have one, just covering letters.
Hi, Billy.
Oh, hi, Gail.
Sorry, I was on a phone call. Good morning, commissioners. How can I help you?
We already did the resolution that's on that.
On the
We
back.
all agreed on it.
Sorry, on what?
On the resolution 22-12, resolution requesting authority for the distribution of county minimum allocation grants for water and sewer infrastructure.
Oh,
projects.
thank you. Yes, thank you very much. I appreciate that.
All right, that's all I was asking. If you had any-
Okay. Yeah, I don't have any comment on it.
Okay, thank you.
What's she saying about those?
They just, pretty much just fill out
I mean, the board. Isn't that funny?
all three of them.
All three of them.
Is that acceptable?
I think so. I have their other one. on file.
Because they're already on these boards to begin with.
Mhm.
Okay. Are we on this right now?
We'll just start. I just- Okay, we're moving on to the county board reappointments. Valley Fire District Board is Richard Skaggs.
Make a motion that we accept Richard Skaggs's application for the Valley Fire District Board.
No second.
Any public comment? Being none, all in favor?
Aye.
Next one is Ann Bees for Peaburg TV Board.
I make a motion that we accept Ann Beeson's application for the voluntary board for the Peaburg TV District.
My second.
Public comment? Being none, all in favor?
Aye.
Next one is William Park for the Valley County Cemetery.
I make a motion that we accept the application for voluntary board Valley County Cemetery of William Park.
My second.
Public comment? All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. You'll send them a letter to girl.
Yeah.
Thanks, Bill.
So we're off until 10:30.
You go off.
Mhm. Okay.
Annex County Attorney budget update. Go ahead.
So generally I do pretty well with my budget. There's no issues, but this year we've got the issues with the hospital and a guardianship case that I had to get Lewis Smith to work on. And so there was 2 emergency hearings and then now there's gonna be another hearing in December. That could, it's not astronomical, but it could basically put me over my budget this year. What I'd say is, we wait and see how things are in May and potentially could be help supplement that. I don't foresee a lot more issues coming up, but this guardianship is one of them. Yeah.
Okay, if I may make a comment. You are under the umbrella of the general fund. If you go over, we can always do a line item transfer.
And yeah, I was just doing this more just so you guys knew what was
Yeah.
going on,
Yeah.
that it's not spinning willy-nilly, but there's,
Just in case it does happen that.
yeah, that they could potentially do that line item.
And what line item is it? Is it your?
Special, or I think she calls it a special counsel, and then sometimes I
Okay.
use their, when I go over in that, I use that witness
Right.
fund. So it could eat up the witness fund and that special counsel fund.
And in this situation, there are years that it's not used and there are years that it is, and this is one of those years. We budget low, got enough, and it would be something at the end of the year that we would just. Finger. Under the the
The
general
general
fund,
fund,
I
yeah.
I wouldn't worry about it. It's just something that is a necessary,
Okay.
and we'll just transfer it from the sheriff's department. No, just kidding.
No, thanks. I mean, yeah, we'll be as conservative as we can. This is one that's adding up a little bit. But, okay, well, thank you.
No, yeah,
Keep better to hear about it before it's too late.
Yeah, what's going on?
so is this something where we have to make a motion, or is it
I
just?
don't think you have to make a motion on this, do the fact, like you say, it's under the umbrella.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know if he's gonna do.
I think when you do that adjustment, that we can put it on the
Yeah,
agenda at
And
that
it will
time.
definitely, at the end of the year, there are always adjusting entries to. Like a line item transfer is what they're called, so take from one fund, put it in the other fund that. And it all comes out under the
And-
same amount for the general
Yeah.
fund.
See,
There-
that's where some of that money, goes back to that Maple thing where they want 20,000, well, we might need that 20,000 going to his. budget.
Yeah.
It's stuff like that, but we gotta keep our money for our county. Start.
Another thing to point out too, is you do have a reserve in the general fund. I'm not sure what you guys set that out, but yeah, so that helps.
Yeah,
As a
Not sure.
cushion.
yes.
You know, we have it kind of set, cause, Flint Creek one was.
Yeah.
But she went off of what we, but that's because we kept it down to 6. So we never got any. How much that would cost. So it's happened, should have always, we always did it before for 80 and this year was 60. She based it on, I guess I didn't pay that much attention to it. We were at 6 for so long trying to get this build up to water and get off stuff like that. That's a problem. People don't understand how much this really water thing. The whole county, it's not just about up there, down here, it's,
Affects
everything.
everyone, yeah. Well, you're right, you guys have to look at the totality of it. You're not just looking at one
Yeah, you got
aspect of it.
you. Alrighty. Oh, we're still on, we got a few minutes before we go to. Sorry.
Pardon me.
Oh, I was sorry, sorry.
You didn't drop the shades, cause it's not bothering my.
Feels good.
Your next session is closed too.
What?
I listed your next session as closed.
Yeah, litigation strategy.
The next one,
Yep.
We can close
So
it
it
right
says, closed.
Okay.
now. I
you
can
can
close
close
it
now.
now, so we can.
Maybe stay while you're closing it.
We're closing the meeting,
And 40.
at 10:40, it's because of the review of Allied Engineering Services. It's due to.
Litigation strategy.
Litigation, so we're closed.
Yeah.
And then excuse myself, I'll be looking down there.
Oh,
Yeah. but- great.
How's it going?
Good, how you doing?
Good. Warming up.
Is that okay?
yeah.
Warming up out there?
Thank you.
Nice, dude.
he jinxed me last week.
If I don't go, I can't pay my bills. I gotta run to the bank, sorry.
Okay, no problem.
Doing a good job with her, so.
Okay, well, good. I'm glad to hear that. Thank you.
Keep it up. Good luck.
Thank you.
See you guys.
Still a little bit about it. More commissioners. Sorry for walking in. I'll learn the system yet.
Oh, no, we could add a note up too, I guess.
Okay. All right.
We're with Chad Green, CEO with Granite County Medical Center with his monthly update.
All right, thank you. All right, I'll start with COVID-19 state and local update. The Granite County COVID-19 community level is considered high at this time, with 8 new cases and a rate of 236.76 per 100,000. The hospital has had 5 long-term residents test positive and 2 staff members at this point. Families, public health, the state have been notified. All staff and residents are being tested and monitored according to public health guidance. We've been working with the state and county. Residents have all been stable and most are showing very little symptoms. Infection control is being strictly followed according to CDC and public health guidelines. As of this week, or 10/28, as when the state last updated, Granite County had 8 new cases, 7 active cases. There are 985 active cases in Montana and 727 newly reported cases last week. According to the Montana response map, 314,564 total cases in Montana to date, 985 active cases, 68 active hospitalizations, and 3,574 deaths. Vaccines, we've begun COVID vaccinations with the bivalent vaccine and are continuing vaccine clinics on Wednesdays. We started that last week.
Vaccination rates remain unchanged in Granite County to this date at 39%, and Montana dropped slightly to 52% of the eligible population for vaccinated. As for monkeypox, current status there, there remains 7 cases of monkeypox identified in Montana to date. They've been in the Flathead, Cascade, Gallatin, Hill, and Lake in Missoula counties. That remains unchanged since last month's report. There have been 28,302 confirmed monkeypox cases across the US, according to the CDC. That's an increase of over 4,000 cases since last month's report. Globally, there have been more than 77,000 cases, and according to the WHO, or World Health Organization, the monkeypox outbreak has been declared a public health emergency of international concern. Moving on to the hospital long-term care. In the month of October, the residents have gone on a couple of outings, one of those being to Moose Lake and the other being to the ranch at Rock Creek Loop. Jay continues to come every Tuesday to play music for the residents. However, that's kind of been on hold until release of our outbreak status. We had a hairstylist come and provide hair services for the residents that wanted their hair done. We purchased lots of candy, and the residents created candy bags for the elementary school children parade on Halloween. They came through the courtyard so that everybody could see out the windows yesterday. We had a family and resident Thanksgiving dinner planned for November 17th, and we're encouraging the residents, families to come and have Thanksgiving dinner with us. However, we are now having to cancel that event. We've recently been planning for the Festival of Trees event as well, and we're preparing to decorate a tree and take some of the residents to the event in December if we feel it's safe at that time. Each and every day, we are actively doing many things to make sure each and every one of the residents' needs and wants are met. We continue to provide beauty day, bingo, parachute, one-to-one visits, card games, board games, daily exercises, and many other activities to make a difference in our residents' lives. Moving on to the business department, revenue cycle teams, and different departments throughout the hospital. Central supply work is continuing to update our charge master and eventually be uploaded in Jumpstock, an application of Athena, to charge and track our supplies. In our clinics, we recently purchased an audiometer and will be starting to perform pre-employment physicals and urine drug screens for businesses. And we're starting with a fairly good sized company out of Anaconda starting tomorrow with those. Dietary has been experiencing several equipment issues. Our new steam table that we had finally been able to purchase suffered an electrical problem and was non-functional. We ordered 4 steam pans until we're able to get a replacement table that will be covered under the warranty. We also continue to have issues with the walk-in refrigerator and freezer. A down payment has been made toward an upgrade, and that will include new evaporators, compressors, seals, and all electrical. And the walk-in will basically be completely refurbished except for the box itself. We hope this project to be completed by the end of next month. We'd hope to already have that completed within the last couple of weeks, but again, with supply chains, we've been having trouble getting the equipment. So as of right now, we are scheduled for November 22nd. For emergency preparedness, we participated in the Great Montana Shakeout on October 20th, and this was a statewide earthquake drill that families, schools, businesses, and hospitals could all participate in to prepare for an actual earthquake or disaster, or to test preparedness. GCMC had 4 employees participate as actors in the drill, complete with makeup effects. This allowed our providers, nursing staff, and all ancillary staff to participate in a more realistic scenario. Providers and nursing staff worked together to triage and treat the acting patients, while our staff worked as support to obtain blankets and gurneys, start the call tree, assist with incident command, and to help move and transport patients as needed. This is a great learning experience for all involved. In IT, we have a couple of IT projects in the works right now. We're still working on our ongoing Jumpstock project. We're also implementing a required ELR registry for our laboratory. And Dave is working to implement the connectivity with the state server on that. We'll also be implementing a new camera security system soon,
What's ELR?
electronic lab registry.
Oh,
In our laboratory, our lab received a new refrigerator last month. It's a really nice unit, which was a much needed upgrade to our old refrigerator, which was a very basic household style. The new Thermal Scientific refrigerator is nearly twice as large and equipped with glass doors, which makes it very nice for organizing and locating lab supplies quickly. Our marketing team has attended our earthquake disaster drill and took some photos, which were posted on social media. We also had pictures of many of our new team members taken, and we'll be featuring them on social media as well. We're working with Healthy Granite County Network and the MSU Office of Rural Health to obtain a community health needs assessment. And the mailings will begin starting on November 16th for that. In our maintenance and transportation area, we've completed construction of a new pharmacy area near the emergency room. It's a well-organized space with our own medication disposal area. We will begin refurbishing the refrigerator freezer soon, as mentioned before. As for human resources and staffing, open positions include one part-time environmental services position for the Drummond Clinic, one board clerk, which I think we have some interest in now, one RN charge nurse for nights. We still have 5 CNAs, but we've had 2 CNAs now express interest in coming out full-time for us. We have a medical assistant posted for our Drummond Clinic as well, and one mid-level provider part-time and one middle-level provider full-time position posted. We do regret to announce that Eddie Amberg has resigned to take a full-time ER position elsewhere, and we wish Eddie the best in his new endeavor. But we are excited to announce that Ron Ham, PA certified, has been hired as full-time provider. Ron's an excellent addition to our team and will provide exceptional care in our clinic and hospital at GCMC, and will be our provider in Drummond as we expand our clinic days there. We are happy to report that we are now fully staffed in dietary and environmental services at the hospital. We're also fully staffed in radiology, plus a per diem radiology CT tech that just started as well. We've hired a maintenance engineering director and another per diem staff position in that department as well. Also, Shannon Martell is our new community health worker, and she'll be starting probably within this next week, and we're very much looking forward to having her join our team as well. We had a resurvey by the state Monday through Wednesday of this week, or this last week, and this was the revisit since the state's 2567 report issued in August. The surveyor put GCMC back in substantial compliance and said she was amazed and astounded at the progress that we've made in such a short time. She said she witnessed improved morale and the staff was in good spirits and willing to talk to her during a visit. She commented also that the residents were happy and well taken care of. She also shared these findings with other residents around town during her stay. We have an amazing staff and they're all working really hard to improve our hospital and our local healthcare. Needless to say, we're very pleased with the survey results, but realize we still have many opportunities for improvement. Any questions?
I see on the news where there's a outbreak of the flu nationwide and RSV or whatever it is or something.
RSV, I've seen that.
Is there any around here?
We have not seen, I'm not aware of any RSV for sure. If we've had flu, they haven't needed to come through the hospital yet. So RSV is kind of an interesting virus, and it seems like it's kind of a 3-year cycle when it really comes in strong. So we're probably about due for that.
is that fridge freezer deal that like real high cost on that? I was gonna say you could potentially go to the medical foundation, need some, potential.
We did have, we were budgeted for.
Okay.
Yeah,
Alright.
so, I think we're gonna be covered. We hoped maybe to put its own unit outside and to create more space for our freezer, and that wasn't gonna that was definitely not gonna fit within
Yeah.
the budget. But to have it completely refurbished will, and he said that our boxes and everything are in really
Yeah.
good shape still, and so they're just gonna. Work on the seals within there and then just replace everything.
Yeah, that's a
else
great
as far
idea.
as yeah, so that will be happening soon. Our staff is excited about that. But to gain more freezer space, if we do need it, we do have a small room located kind of next to it, and we've talked about putting a 2 or 3 door freezer there to gain some space anyway, and we should have enough funds
All right.
from our capital budget.
Good.
Any questions? Okay, well, thanks for your time.
Yeah,
Appreciate
good
it.
job. Yeah, have a good day.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Chad.
Thank you. Like you leave us open now?
No,
Yeah.
yeah, I'll be-
Okay, all right.
Hey, have a good day.
Just looking at her.
Or,
Announce the date for.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Could talk about the date on the record for the,
So at 11:20. Glen Creek Dam owner site inspection scheduling discussion. At 11:20. We're a little early, is that okay?
yeah, you have it in the agenda now, then it's gotta be flexible in your time.
Speaking with Jeremiah. We're going to have. This on the 15th of November at 2:00. Walkthrough.
Yeah.
Okay,
Rain or shine.
So
rain or shine.
meeting up at
Boots or no
the,
boots,
dam at 2
The dam at 2,
on November 15th. All right.
November 15th.
Sounds
We
good.
have to do it. Has to be done.
Yeah,
Instead of delaying it, we'll get it done. Whether rain or shine or snow or sleet
get her
or
done, yeah.
hail. Is there any public comments on the site inspection scheduling?
No.
Okay. Then I would say I would entertain a motion for projected adjournment. We are adjourned.
Make a motion to adjourn.
I second it.